Alright, look man, Coach Drink is killing me. I made the rest of this video earlier today, and as I was putting it on YouTube, he got another commitment. It's just crazy. 6 and 8 days. Anyway, the new commitment, his name is B.J. Harris. He's a running back out of Chattanooga, Tennessee, 5'10", 185. The build kind of reminds me of Marcus Murphy, Ish Witter, that type of running back. Anyway, this is the kind of recruit Missouri needs to land to be able to challenge Georgia, Florida, whoever else in the SEC East. Guy had offers from Kentucky, Mississippi, Mississippi State, Nebraska, South Carolina, Tennessee, Vanderbilt, Virginia Tech, and was getting interest from LSU if the Rivals.com profile page is to be believed. That's half the conference offering the kid. If that's the case, give me that guy all day long. Anyway, that's it. I just wanted to add this on to the rest of the video. Stay tuned for the rest of Coach Drink's crazy week recruiting, and enjoy. Alright, look everybody. My last video was about the baseball season, getting started. Should have been happy, but the way that whole thing has gone down has me kind of bummed out. And I promised I'd do a happier video. So here we are today talking Mizzou football recruiting. Before we get into it, make sure you subscribe to my channel. Now, I did this video 9 days ago talking Mizzou football recruiting, but Coach Drink, he decided to step his game up with recruiting, and he's got 5 new guys in the last, in a 6-day stretch.
Somebody cool me down. Somebody put me out. I'm too much.
I mean, that's unheard of, especially for Mizzou in June. Now, that gives Mizzou 15 recruits for the 2021 class. We had 4 commit to Mizzou for that class. 1 as a grad transfer, immediately eligible. So, let's take a look at this. First, Shamar Pearl. He committed on June 18th. He was a former Mizzou commit, didn't qualify out of high school. He went to JUCO out in Kansas. Now he's coming back. Listed at 6'6", 240. His high school profile had him at 6'4", so either he had a late growth spurt or that listed height is him in cleats. Whatever. He's still ranked as the #1 weak side defensive end in the country for JUCO recruits by 24/7 Sports. So that's pretty awesome. Yeah, he'll be back. Next day, June 19th, Zachary Lovett committed to Mizzou. He is a linebacker out of Rockledge, Florida. Again, 5'7", 3-star. That is the sweet spot for Mizzou football recruiting. Then, the next day, a grad transfer. No one's ever heard of the guy. Kiki Chisholm out of Angelo State University. That is a D2 school in San Angelo, Texas, kind of west central part of the state. Anyway, he's 6'4" receiver. That makes me think back to 2013 season, just running about a bunch of 6'4", 6'5" guys out there with old DGB, Marcus Lucas, and Damian Washington. If we can get a bunch of receivers like that who are still fast enough, I think the receiving corps is finally going to be a plus for the first time in years. Then, the day after that, you had Damian Wilson, a linebacker from Kings Mountain, North Carolina. He was originally recruited by Coach Drink when he was back at Appy State. And then, 2 days later, on the 23rd, Tyler Hibbler, pretty highly recruited defensive back out of St. Louis, Trinity High School, and that is quite the run for Mizzou football. That got Mizzou's football team ranking for recruiting, according to Rivals. It made it as high as 20. As of about 5 minutes ago, it was number 21 in the country.
Yes! That's awesome.
So you can't ask for a whole lot better than that out of Mizzou football. It's probably not going to finish 21 in the country, but even if it's top 30, it would only be the second time in the last 10 years that Mizzou's recruiting class ranked in the top 30 from rivals. So, as far as the class goes now, like I said, Kiki Chisholm is grad transfer. He's immediately eligible, so he doesn't count towards the 2021 class. This class so far has Tyler Macon is the one and only quarterback, not taking any more. You got one running back, no wide receivers yet. You get 2 tight ends, 1 offensive lineman. You have, 3 defensive linemen, 2 linebackers, 4 defensive backs. And then Davion Sistrunk is right now, he's listed as an athlete. Not entirely sure where he's going to play yet. Just as importantly for Mizzou football recruiting, this right here, St. Louis. St. Louis is fickle when it comes to Mizzou and football. I don't know why. Whatever. Either way, right now this class that has 15 players has 4 from St. Louis, Missouri. 1, Tyler Macon, is from East St. Louis. Then you got 1 more from Washington, Missouri, just a little bit outside St. Louis, Ryan Hosterkamp, the tight end. And then you've got 1 more in Jackson, Missouri. That is Connor Tollison, the offensive lineman. So right now, there are 5 recruits from what you would call St. Louis, Missouri side. Then Tyler Macon. So St. Louis metropolitan area, you're looking at 6 recruits, and then a 7th from about 2 hours south. That's almost half the class right there from the east side of the state. If anything comes out of Kansas City, we're going to have the state not entirely locked down, but a heavy dose of Missouri football players filling up the Mizzou roster. And that is important for establishing relationships and connections between the new coaching staff and all the high school programs around the state, and just kind of building a common bond. All these different schools and different people in different parts of the state all having that common thing, rooting for Mizzou football. Because you talk to somebody down in rural southwest Missouri, that's a different world than up by Kirksville, and that's different from St. Louis, which is different from Jackson. So establishing that bond and connection, I think, is very important. And Coach Drink is off to a strong start with this class. So we'll see what happens with the rest of this class. We still have all the way till December before we make it to the early signing day, and this class is 60% full. It's going to be exciting, and for the first time, Mizzou football recruiting, for the first time in years, it's fun to watch. It's fun to follow, and that is the most encouraging thing. That's all I've got on Mizzou football recruiting. Until the next hot streak, maybe. We'll see you next time.